preliminaries. We are now discussing the bids that we got for the contract that to take the place of Pam and Bill on the pools and maintenance and janitorial work.
Okay.
Majestic, just to recapitulate for everybody, Majestic came in with a high bid and at coming only 2 to 3 times per week. So they pretty much, and they kind of communicated that they weren't interested in the contract anymore. And then the others, the pool companies, you know, the problem with doing the pool companies like resort pools is now you have to have a separate contract for the rest of the work. And same thing with One Stop.
And the thing with amenity is because they're also bid the janitorial, so it's like it's been with Pam, it would be a one-stop shop. So we don't have any finger pointing between different entities. If, you know, they were supposed to do it versus
Right.
Versus me. So I think that you know, both in terms of just in the cost wise, they're the lowest bidder, but they also seem to be the best choice.
Well, and another thing about them is, Gary, that their bid is about 4,000 under what we have in the budget for, which is now 2 contracts split between Bill and Pam Elliott, but their bid is about 4,000 below that. So we'll be a little bit ahead by taking their bid.
Correct.
So the arrangement would be if we took amenities that we would have this language in an acceptance document is what I'm hearing, correct?
That's what we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We had a few questions, and then Greg, when I was there with Greg and Pam, we called him on the phone and went over them, and he was amenable to everything we talked about. You know, that he had intended that they be included. So we'll just cover that in a cover letter of acceptance.
And just to put your mind at ease, if all of a sudden he reneges on that, then we'll just go back to one of the other bidders.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Is that all of the bids, all of the pool bids don't contain a cancellation clause, which means they can all be canceled at any time. The janitorial bid has a 30-day out. So if we're not happy, we can cancel in 30 days. So we're not locking ourselves into an annual contract that we can't get out of for 12 months.
Okay.
So if we're unhappy,
Thank you.
we make it known, and if we're, you know, we want to try, we can rebid it at any time, really. So
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we accept the bid from Amenity Pools for both the pools, maintenance, and janitorial work.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
Okay.
We got you. All right.
What are you voting, Carl?
Huh?
Did you vote aye?
Yeah.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Were there any nays?
No.
Okay. All right, Carl, over to you.
No, I don't have any question.
No. We're done with this item.
Well, let's see if there's anybody online, if there are any residents that have any comments or questions regarding the item that the board just discussed. You may unmute yourself. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any homeowners with any questions. You can proceed, Carl.
Okay. The next item then will be the front gate clearance sign. I think we discussed that the last time, and Greg was going to look into that. Is that correct, Greg?
Well, front gate,
You were,
yeah, it's like $52 or something for a sign that we can put over the top of the arch there at the clubhouse. It says, clearance 12 feet. So that would be one more stopgap measure to keep people from going under it that are taller than that. So that's a small item. The bigger issue there is what are we going to do about the other signage? We talked about that briefly the last time. And a couple of board members had some questions or concerns. What we're proposing to do and what we have all agreed to do is get rid of the big blinker sign, big blinkers out there. And we're doing that by turning them back over to the contractor to sell to someone else who needs them. We won't get what we paid for them out of it. But what we've also talked about is replacing the sign that's there, that's up close to the clubhouse with a slightly smaller sign. That's a 36-inch sign. We would put a 30-inch sign that has small little flashing lights around the edge of it. Would be powered by the same solar panel that is up there now, and is much less obtrusive than those railroad crossing lights that we have up there now. And go ahead.
and possibly even if we're trying to see if we could even sell the solar panel too, because if we put it close to the building, then we could take power from the building.
He wasn't too wild about that, Carl.
Oh, okay.
I think the easiest thing to do is just keep the solar panel.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get much for it anyway.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
I
so-
talked to him about trying to take power out of somewhere that's out there, and he was not very amenable to that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so his estimate is after we get the money for the lights, we would be somewhere between 1,000 and maybe 1,200 for going this new way.
So we would be taking down the flashing lights that are there, and we would be putting a similar flashing sign further back that's smaller?
No, close. We would take out the ones that's there, and in about the same location, we would put a smaller sign that only has small little flashing lights around the outside, about 2 little flashing lights on each edge that are yellow.
Yeah, like LED light, just enough to get attention
Yeah.
to look at the sign.
Just enough to get you to look at the sign. And we would look at putting the existing sign farther out toward Ocoya, or toward
Toward the main road?
the main road there.
As soon as it turn in.
Probably on the right side, so it wouldn't be so much in the way, but would still be visible to people turning the corner there. And then we would
What would
put
that sign say? What would that one that's close to the
what it
road
says.
say?
What it says now.
Same sign, we just take off that pole.
Yeah, we just take it off of that pole and put it on another pole. There's no lights on it.
Okay,
Just
so we're
reflective.
basically keeping that same sign, putting it closer to the main street, and then putting
Yeah.
a smaller sign by the security post that's has lights on it, right?
A small lure sign. It's not small.
Smaller version, right? Yeah, okay.
But
So this
doesn't
way
have
it
the big
doesn't-
flashing, doesn't have the big flashing lights. It
Right.
would just have a perimeter light that would
They're like
like-
LEDs,
yeah.
so not as big and have this big flashing light going on there.
I think I provided.
Was
I'm
that
sorry.
was that the area where I remember there was someone that spoke, I didn't get the name, it just had a phone number that said that we should maybe send a suggestion to the residents to ask, and I think there was discussion that there may only be 30 people that respond. Was that what we were talking about, that same conversation?
I don't
So
remember
is that
that.
what we're planning to do too?
I don't remember that, Warren. I don't think this, I don't think this merits going to that much.
Okay,
We didn't do that to start with.
okay.
Why don't we see what any of the residents on board here have a comment?
Yeah, can you open it up, Natalie, see if any residents want to chime in?
Yeah, it is open. If anybody wants to chime in, they can unmute
Hi,
themselves.
this is Millie Freer Chansey. I don't think we need to send that to the residents. We've had problems just getting feedback from more complicated things. I think it's a good idea what you have in mind. You have 2 signs now.
Plus the one over the top that says clearance 12 feet.
Right,
So it's really
exactly.
3 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
It'll be the same color as the current sign, the sort of yellowish. Probably, but I think that's kind of a standard for warning signs.
Yeah, yeah, it's a color standard that the sign company they use. I think it's have to be approved by DOT.
Yeah, I think it's a DOT standard.
Yeah.
It's you know, no good choice. It's that nobody likes the unattractive color, but it also we don't want to have to deal with tens of thousands of dollars for repair to the overhang ever again either. So
Right.
Yeah, I think it will look much better with the small sign with a little attention getter, little LED
Smaller
lights.
sign, Carl. Not small, smaller, not small.
Yeah, and I think that will look much better than what's there. And putting that little sign over the header of the entrance to the guard shack. And if we move that sign and put in a separate pole all the way out by the gate to the right side, yeah, I think that should work. It doesn't look crowded.
So if somebody still runs into it, we got 3 layers of protection there. The sign out by the street that they'll see when they turn the corner, the flashing sign, which is in front of the guard shack by 30 feet or so, and then the overhead sign that's the clearance.
I think that's enough. I think that is good enough to get anyone attention.
I agree.
So I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and get the sign to put on the overhead, the clearance sign, that we move the existing sign without the lights out to the front on the right side as you turn into the driveway. And then that we put the smaller 30-inch sign with the flashers around the edge, small yellow flashers around the edge that basically has the same verbiage that's in the sign that's there now.
And Greg, along with that would be sale of the flashing lights, correct?
Yes, and sale. Well, I think the board has cleared that already. But yeah, that would involve having the contractor that we're working with sell those lights, and we think he's got a buyer already lined up. So the net cost should be, let's just say, 1,500 is an upper limit on that. I think it's going to be less by the time they sell those lights.
Okay, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Greg, could we also make sure that we have the trees cut at the 14-foot level so that you could see those things?
Yes, that was a good point that you brought up. The speed limit sign is completely masked by the foliage. So yes, I haven't taken care of that yet, Warren, but thanks for reminding me about it. Well, what?
Can all the residents please mute? We're getting a little bit of feedback. Okay, I think it's gone. Hey Greg, can you please reiterate the motion for the minutes, please, for me?
Well, okay. I won't give it to you word for word because I can't remember all my words. What the motion is?
Yeah.
It's 3 elements. actually 4 elements. First element is to put an overhead clearance sign that says clearance 12 feet over the arch. The second one is to take the existing sign and get rid of the flashing lights, sell them through the vendor, and move that sign out to the front when you first turn in, near to the front on the right side. And then the third part of it is to install a new sign, slightly smaller, a 30-inch instead of a 36-inch sign, with flashing lights around the edges, periphery. And the ceiling on the cost of all that, after we sell the flashers, should be no more than $1,500.
Okay.
And that's include, I think that included install, the
Yeah, I think it
reinstall.
does include install, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So did we vote?
Yes, we already
Yeah, we
voted.
did. Yeah, we
All right.
all voted.
Okay, so we're good.
All right. So we're just going to move on to new business. And first item in the new business is approve HOA credit card and credit limit. And the reason why we kind of bring this up here is because sometime we have an emergency where we have to run out to Home Depot and grab something, and we have to use our personal funds to buy it, and then submit the receipt back to Leland for payment, reimbursement.
Which
And
takes a while.
it takes a while. And when you spend your cash, you know, it's gone, and it takes a while before you get it back, you know. So I am suggesting that the president and the treasurer should hold a credit card for the HOA. And if there's a, you know, a simple purchase that we need immediately, we can run and take care of it. And that goes for any of the HOA board members. If they have something that they're responsible for and they need to pay for it, that card will come handy to use to do that as well.
You know,
So-
Carl, a good example is what you just had to do with the computers up in the guard shack.
Exactly. I had to buy the computer on my credit card, you know, buy power supply, buy, you know, things that happen, things goes down and they need to be up back quickly. So I got to use my own credit card to purchase them, and then have to wait for the reimbursement. And also, we're not getting reimbursed for the interest you pay on the credit card. So I would rather we take our personal finance out of the HOA business and use a HOA card, just like a corporate card that you would normally get from a corporation when you're working with them to cover, you know, expense like those. And then the management company just pay the bill. You know, when it comes,
Well,
it goes to them.
I think my opinion, Carl, is we need to have some kind of a system where people, like, take the example you just had, just send a note to Natalie and the board that says, hey, I just used the credit card to pay $400 for an uninterrupted power supply for the guard shack. End of story. That way it's
Yeah.
out in the open.
And
Everybody sees.
we will also need every month, or well, actually you should just do it as you make the purchases, but we do need all the receipts
Oh yeah, sure.
for all the
Yeah.
purchases. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because when you get your statement, you'll have them to
We have
go
we have to
rectify, yeah,
right.
Can you
reconcile.
take like a JPEG of the receipt? You know, a picture of the receipt. Can you use
Yeah,
that, or
however,
Okay.
however you want to send it to me is fine.
Yeah,
but
we
just-
always scan it and just send it to Natalie,
yeah.
and then
Okay.
she'll get it. So when they get the statement at the end of the month, they can compare the charges against the statement.
Yeah, but definitely
Yeah.
send it to me by email because
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, definitely.
Because if you
So-
shoot me a picture by text, we don't know what's gonna happen.
No, I would say email, because then this way
Okay.
you can keep a record or a track.
We should put a ceiling though, Carl.
Yeah.
We should say,
Yeah.
you know, $500 or something, so that
Well, we do need, in the minutes, in order for accounting to, get the credit card, the minutes have to reflect exactly what the spending limit is gonna be.
Per transaction. I would propose $500.
No, what your limit, I'm sorry, your
What's your limit?
Yeah,
mean the total limit?
Like for
yes.
example, I spend let me see, 1 month we spend about 700. Warren spent about 700 and plus 1 month too. And so I would say maybe
I think
1,000, maybe
2,500.
25.
I
Okay.
think
think
2,500 is a good number, yeah.
Okay.
Because then
Mhm.
if there's several members that have expenses and
If
all
you
that,
if you guys see you're going over, you can always, we can always do a limit increase as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think 20, you're right, Warren. I think 25 should be sufficient because if Ken has a card and I have a card, that's $5,000 combined, right?
no, $2,500 total.
Yeah,
Do that
Mhm.
on the whole card, on the whole
And
account.
they all are, oh, okay. So, okay. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So, um,
that's going to
Oh,
make it.
it would be, I think it would be, no, I would have to double check, but I think it would be 2,500 for Carl and 2,500. I'll have to double check on that. I can't, it's been a long time since I've,
it's
had
the
a
same
board.
account with
I-
different names on
Right,
cards. I think it
right.
just gets to 2,500.
Right, yeah, I think, yeah, it's shared. So you could, yeah, I mean, you could do 5,000 and then you have,
I don't think we need it. I think
Don't think
2,500.
so.
No,
Yeah,
we
I don't
don't-
think we need it
yeah,
either.
we don't think
Okay.
we need that much.
okay.
Well, how about you do 15 for me and 1,000
Well,
for
it's gonna be the same account, so
Yeah,
it's,
account, so
Oh,
will
you
be
just
different
use the
for each person.
card.
Different authorized users on the same account is.
Authorized users, thank you, Kelly. I couldn't think of the
I'm an
term.
accountant, can you tell?
Thank you.
Now, the only thing is, the only reason I object to that is it's going to make it real hard for me to buy that golf cart I had in mind.
well, too bad. But yeah, it's I think probably even if we do, I don't see where we ever go over 2,000. So
Get a credit card.
2,500 is safe. I make a
25.
motion. I make a motion that the board approve obtaining a credit card account for the board to use, board members to use, with an upper limit of 2,500.
Let me second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah. Approved. All right, next item we're gonna have here. Okay, Pam, our current maintenance and pool maintenance person here, she's leaving, and she's been with us for 20 years,
25.
25 years, and knows everything about our operation in the sense of our grounds and the pool area and stuff like that. And she's been doing a great job for all these years, and now she's leaving. And I'm asking the board if we can approve a little gift for her, something maybe
She,
like what, a
I'd like
gift
to,
card. Go ahead, Greg.
well, I was just going to add to what you said that she has she has a business, and ours was her first account, and then she's grown her business quite a bit, but she holds our account special. She's out here every day and has been for all these years, and it's going to be, we're going to notice a difference when, even with the amenity pools, we're going to see that how much she did that we weren't even really aware of. So she really I mean, she's a contractor, so she's walking away with nothing for all those years of service. But I can tell you firsthand, it was very dedicated service that she gave us.
I'd like to say that I just met really Pam since I've been on board, which is a year, and I appreciate, and I think everybody appreciates the work that she's done. I think we're getting into a gray area. I don't think that we should use board's funds to do that. I think that we can collect money among the board ourselves and give her a gift, but maybe a letter from Carl as the president commending her for the 25 years of service would be more appropriate. Because if you look at it as saying that she was a contractor, essentially we were paying her for the duties that she was doing. I don't mean to sound like a Grinch or anything, but I think that we get into a very fine line as far as drawing the line, what we're going to decide as who we're going to use association money for to give a farewell gift to, notwithstanding the service that they've done. So I am a bit not supportive, not that I don't support giving her something, but I think that we should do it if we each want to put in some money and we give her a gift, say that we appreciate it and say the community does too, and a letter from Carl would be my suggestion.
Well, let me add that over the years there is precedent for using HOA funds for this kind of thing. It's never been you know, a whole lot of money, but there is some precedent for doing it, and that was
No problem.
that was cleared with the lawyer at the time.
Okay.
You got any comments on that, Natalie?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney. I don't see the issue with the association, you know, giving her a gift for her services through the years. It would be different if you know, if she was still going to stay on site as the contractor, then you don't really want to pay, you know, give gifts. But the fact that she's leaving as just a show of, you know, just a show of the good work that she's done, you know, I don't know.
Another
now
way
that
to
War- it-
another way to look at it is
I think, like Warren said, it's a gray area. I don't know. I don't know.
another way to look at it is she of her own time, not under the contract, but of her own time, spent a lot of time helping us get bids and evaluating those bids and interviewing the bidders and all of that. If we'd have hired somebody to do that, we'd have spent a lot of money to have somebody help us find us a good contractor. So I think, you know, there's plenty of rationale for using. I mean, we got value for nothing from her for that, and we ought to make a gesture to reward her for that. It's my opinion.
Okay. Well, we'll look at it this way. If she did charge us, you know, extra hours for helping to look for vendors and stuff like that and help interview them as well, that would probably add up to more than even what we would anticipate giving her as a gift.
And she has agreed, by the way, to she's due to move out of town, but she's agreed to delay that in order to have a good handoff with the new contractor to make sure the new contractor is
I think instead of calling it a gift, I think how you can present this as a bonus for all of her hard work. A bonus. I don't see anything wrong with that. Warren, what do you think?
I have no comment. I hear what you're saying. What if you say this as a bonus?
What budget is it
How much
coming out
money are
of?
we talking about as a bonus then?
I
What are we
want to
talking
throw out
about?
$250.
Oh. What budget would
Okay,
it
so
be
there are
coming out
five,
of?
so there are five board members. Everybody put in $50. We could still say that it's from the community and the board.
We could.
I just
Yeah.
have a problem using association money for her services. You know, one of the things that you just brought up is, you know, she helped us with the recruitment effort. All of that is great. And the fact that we accepted her volunteering this service that we know could have cost if we decided to get it from someplace else. You know, that's on us for taking it. I just have a hesitancy to doing it. If you're saying $250, I have $50 that I'm willing to contribute. And I don't know, I don't want to contribute your money for you, but if that's the case, I'm willing to give my $50 and say that it's from the community. I have a problem with taking community funds to give to her. I look at her as someone that's a contractor that's done above and beyond, and we all appreciate that. We've all received the benefits of her going above and beyond. But I have a hesitancy to voting to support this, and certainly everybody's in favor of it. We could go ahead and do the vote. You know, I'll be against it. It passed 4-1. I'm willing to contribute $50 if you said $250.
Technically, though, she's been working for the association, not the board members.
Okay, well, I'm willing to give $50, okay? We can move ahead because everybody's in favor of it. We can move ahead so we could, you know, address it. That's my position. I'm not going to change. I'm willing to add $50 if need be, okay?
It would come out of miscellaneous funds. Somebody asked what fund item it would come out of. Miscellaneous account.
We could have asked her to invoice us for $250 for transition expenses.
I don't think that's what Warren is. I don't think that's.
That's not what I'm saying. Exactly, Matt. That's not what I'm saying.
Kent, can you please mute? Kent, would you mind muting?
I'm trying to find out where it is.
Oh, okay.
Is there ever a chance for a resident to speak in this?
Yeah, absolutely.
All you gotta do is unmute yourself.
I would very much like to recognize that person for their efforts, but I agree with the board member that said that should not come out of the association funds. I'd be glad to give $50 myself, but I don't believe the association funds should be used for that. My 2 cents.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
actually, maybe Natalie, what we could do is put out a blast to the community, and that we'd like to take up a collection for Pam for her 25 years service, and get everybody to contribute.
That might exceed $250.
It might.
And I tend to agree somewhat with Warren. I think, and I'm happy to put in $50.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I kind of see the point, this kind of gray area there, and I would rather stay out to the gray area myself. So, I like the idea about whoever homeowner want to contribute. You know, I'm open for that.
So I want to make a motion then that we put out an e-blast that describes the service that she has given to the community, and lets her know that some of us are willing to put in for a bonus for her, to thank her for all her hard work and over and above, including helping us find a replacement, and to send that money where?
To Leland, and Leland can give it to her.
Who in Leland?
Huh?
Who should we send it to at Leland?
Whoever.
I think you guys, we would need to organize it a little bit. I think the first thing would be sending out an email and giving a time frame, like a deadline of when we need to receive the donations by. And then once we receive all the donations, then I can take those donations and I can I guess maybe get a gift card.
So,
Yeah.
so send them to you?
And we'll send them to our office, yes. To the Claremont office. They could drop them off or mail a check.
We should have a person. We should have a person, not just the office. We should have a person that goes to Anna or somebody.
Well, if it's coming to the Claremont office, it'll be going to Anna. So, and myself, I'm in the Claremont office right now. So if it comes to the Claremont office, it'll be in my hands. And
Donation for Pam.
there will have to be a memo on their donation for Pam. There'll be a deadline, and once that deadline comes, then we will take the checks, we will get everything together and get a gift card for her.
Okay.
I'll send out an email after that to the community, also thanking them and letting them know how much was donated.
I'll write the e-blast that you can send out, since I'm probably the most familiar with everything she's done.
Okay, all right. And we want to make sure that if we want to make sure that it's done, before she leaves, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to try to finish my motion, let's put a deadline and say the 15th of February. Anybody that wants to contribute and express our appreciation or their appreciation for her hard work on our behalf over all these years, send the money to the Leland office in Claremont, and we'll include the address.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. And so Greg, you're going to be drafting the email up, and you're going to send it to all the board members.
Yeah, I'll draft an email up. I'll send it to the board members
Yeah.
and Natalie, and then we can
Yeah.
refine it and send it out the next few
Okay.
days.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Okay, next item in the new business, rectify board approval for sending account ending 0151 to the finding committee to suspend amenity access here.
So moved.
Or
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. The next
That was
item on
only
the
two
list here.
ayes.
What's
Any
that?
question
That was only two ayes.
on the two ayes?
Yeah.
Aye.
Keithler's an aye.
Aye.
Bears and aye.
Gary's an aye.
Okay.
Okay. All right, the next item we have on the list here is mediation and homeowners lawsuit. And what I'm going to be asking the board to give, grant me and Greg the authority to negotiate and settle, if possible, and with and the Jim, the attorney, guidance. The issue raised by Mr. Ogle, mediation filing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
One aye,
Keithler's an aye.
two aye. Any other ayes?
You can vote, Carl.
I go with that aye too.
That's
Wait,
three.
you guys, I'm sorry. Who motioned? I thought
I
Carl
did.
motioned. Oh, Greg, you
I did.
did?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have a
So
comment?
I
I
just have a question. The motion is for you all to mediate it? Is that
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that
That's
the motion?
That's the correct, yes, correct.
Okay.
Do you have a vote, Warren, or?
Aye.
Okay.
yeah. All right, so that's taking care of that. The other item we want to move into guard shack lawsuit. We need to get some update on that one.
Okay, let me bring you up to speed on that. Jim Gastino did a bunch of work way back when to notify the companies involved, the trash collectors and the moving company, and all this time he has gotten no response from any of them. So the next step is to do a lawsuit. The only thing about this kind of lawsuit is it's a negligence lawsuit. And according to Jim, we are unable to get back any attorney's fees. We can get some damages, but we won't be reimbursed for our attorney's fees. So so then the next question obviously is, well, how much are the attorney's fees going to be? No way to predict. Depends on how much they drag out the effort, you know, whether we have to go to court for it or not. It's just it's a risk. So right now our choice is basically we eat the cost completely, which is, what is it? Carl, do you remember? It's 35,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
somewhere about there in the 35,000. Yeah.
So we just eat that and take it out of accumulated earnings, or we take a little
Take the
bit of
chance.
What's that?
Or we can take the chance, the
Yeah,
lawsuit.
we take a chance and see how, you know, at least start going down that road and see how it's looking. If we decide it's gonna probably cost us as much or more than we're gonna get, then we can call it off.
Greg, can I ask
Is
a
there a reason
question?
why we can't go to the insurance of the people that were involved in the accident?
Not directly, they have to make the insurance claim. And funny you should mention that, because I was out there when that garbage truck did that, and the supervisor was there, and he said, "Oh, we've got insurance to cover this. Just give me the information," and da 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 da. And we never got anything back from him. So
Can I ask a question?
Wasn't it the county?
no.
Contractor.
It was the city contractor. The city takes no responsibility for it because it's a city contractor.
So Greg, I think you also want to mention that I reached out to to your insurance, the
Oh,
HOA
yeah.
insurance, to
That's
file
the
a
other
claim.
that's the other alternative. We could file for our insurance and say, hey, we had this loss inflicted on us, and so Natalie, go ahead and tell them what you found out.
So I spoke with the agent, and he said that they would be able to take on the claim, and then basically their attorneys would fight with the companies, insurance
Yeah.
companies directly to recover, you know, all of the costs for everything, including the attorney's fees. However, if you guys were to go that route, the premium for your insurance, although the agent promised me they would shop, you know, for the lowest rates, they would shop many carriers. He said there's no way that your insurance will not increase any less than, right now you're paying 27,000 for property. It would increase upwards of 45,000 per year for property.
It
And
would
that would,
to 45,000. The increase wouldn't be 45,000.
no, it would increase to 45,000. So it would be a $17,000 increase per year for insurance if this claim goes.
And that continues on ad infinitum. So, you know,
That's
it's
like
this year, next
forever.
year, and
Yeah,
so it piles up pretty quick.
yeah.
How
So
much have we
I have a
spent? How
question.
much have we spent on lawyers' fees so far on this matter?
we haven't spent much. The Jim has only been trying to, honestly, I don't even know what he's been doing. I know he didn't file the lawsuit, and that's
It's a
where,
few letters. I can't
Yeah.
imagine it's more than 5 hours or something like that.
yeah, we haven't
But-
seen
but-
any invoices for that.
Can we
But one of the
possibly,
things,
can I ask a
one of the
question?
things,
Hello?
Go ahead, Ken.
Can we possibly try to find an attorney that will work on a percentage basis and instead of an hourly basis? And if we'd have a better shot at something like that, at least we can get something out of it. If the attorney doesn't successful, then we don't pay anything. But
I personally don't think there's enough money to attract a lawyer to do that. It's not enough money in it. Take a third of 35,000, that's $10,000. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's not much time. I don't think it's feasible. My own opinion.
but I think, Greg, you said earlier that if we pursued it and we would see, since we know that the amount that we would be getting back would be 35,000, if we saw what the attorney's costs were going, make a determination at
Yes.
that point.
Yeah.
If the only two choices we have is to pursue it now with Attorney Gustino and see what charges are coming into us versus the 35,000, or going to our insurance, which is going to increase $17,000 more, but that
Per year.
$17,000 increase would be every year for the
Right.
next, couple of years. Wouldn't it be advantageous to us now to at least see what is happening if Attorney Gustino went forward with something
I
versus
think,
us paying it out?
I think so. That's my opinion. But I got to tell you, my opinion is I don't think we have a high likelihood of success on this. And primarily because we had a guard out there that could have prevented it. And you ask yourself, well, is it the guard's fault then? Well, the guard contract had an indemnity clause in there, so you can't hold them responsible. So I think in both cases, they have something to fall back on, and that's probably why they're not responding to the letters. So I don't think it's a high probability of success, but I do think, Warren, as you said, it's worth pursuing and seeing how it
Plays out.
how it goes. They may just fold once they see that we're serious about it. They may say, okay, all right, let's just settle.
Yeah, I
think we
have
should-
to lob at least a lawsuit in. I think I agree with Warren. I think we at least have to do that part, and then we can reevaluate it along the way.
Right. And I think as long as we keep track of how much we're spending, to know what our drop the charges or drop the case is,
Yeah.
would give
Yeah,
us
well,
a better assessment.
We should make that part of the treasurer's report every month, how much we're spending on that effort, so we can keep up with it.
Yeah. And what's the cutoff? What would you say if we reached what,
Carl, we just-
10,000?
I think we just see where we are along the way as far as and per what Warren said is that I think we just have the attorney, give us an evaluation maybe of what our chances are along the way, what we're up against, and then we can evaluate it then as far as whether we go forward as opposed to putting a hard limit on it today.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we just need to find out what it looks like and look at the money at the same time and make a judgment.
Yeah, it's not going to be super expensive to lob a lawsuit in, and that a lot of times that brings everybody to the table. So I think I would say we at least get to that level and see what the response is.
This is
Okay,
Ken,
so
a homeowner. May I speak?
Yes.
sure.
May I make a suggestion that given the fact that we have this huge delta from what we're currently paying to possibly what we may pay going into the future, that future budget provides for the insurance to be at 45K or whatever the number is? Because
That's a
in
good
the event
idea.
that we need to do something,
Right.
we need to be prepared financially to be able to do this and let the insurance companies handle this.
That's a good idea.
I agree with that in concept, except that much of an increase could kill, the budget. We might want to not go the full pull on that, at least the first year, just so that
That's
we can.
fine, but we've got to make a provision for it to get to that level. Just like our homeowners has increased, if they come in next year and they're at 45K, whoever our provider is, it makes sense to have that budgeted going forward so we don't have this issue.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But the only thing that when we do that wouldn't that affect our budget to cost increase as well?
Yeah, it would. We can only increase the budget 10% a year, and everything's been going up, including insurance. So
Yeah, it's going to be a Rob Peter to pay Paul. It's going to have to, one hole will get smaller as the other one gets bigger. So
Sure,
I think,
sure.
but I think that I don't think that Kent's out of line in that we should look, use that going forward. We've already done the budget for next year, but I think it's not a bad idea to be able to just claim it against our own insurance and then not have to deal with this on the.
Be a lot easier. Yeah.
So what do you say, Natalie?
I think when you do the budget next year, take a look at it and see how much higher you can go, because I know the budget's pretty maxed out every year, with what the insurance actually does cost. So, but yeah, if you can put some padding in there, for future claims, that would definitely be helpful, because I think it'll make everybody's lives easier if we could just go through your own insurance, and just kind of be ready for that increase.
Well, that's a good point too.
The problem is what we have is in doing the budget is being the 10% limit.
Right.
There's no room for any padding.
Yep. No, I know. I know, Ken. That's what I said. It's pretty tight. So when we look at the budget next year, you just have to take a look at it and see what can be done, if anything. It's a good idea. It's whether whether we can execute it or not.
That would work if we didn't have the 10% limit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we can do what we can within the 10%. That's all we need to try to do. Even if we stash away a couple $1,000s.
Right.
Well,
So that'll serve two purposes. One is it'll help position us if that does happen. And the second thing is it's also something you can use for self-insurance, so that if something happens and we need to repair it, we got a little money stashed away we can repair it with. So even if we don't make an insurance claim. So I think there's some benefit to that if we can do it. I just, being on the finance committee, I agree with Ken. It's going to be real hard to do, but we can try.
Well, I move that we at least lob in the lawsuit on this for now, and then see where the cards stack up after that.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Well, this will bring us to the end of our meeting, and we'll adjourn at 1:57.
1 second, Carl. 1
Huh?
second. Let's
Go
just
ahead.
open it up one more time.
Oh,
to
okay.
see.
Sure.
Are there any other residents that have any comments or questions on any of the agenda items? And remember, you can unmute yourself. I've been trusting everybody and not muting anyone. Okay,
Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
go ahead.
I second it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
And hold
you,
on
everyone.
1 second. The next board meeting will be February 17th. Is that correct?
Yes, February 17th. I'm on vacation the week before. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So I just want to make, yes, that's our monthly meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have
Yeah.
a good rest of the day. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.